Warning, watching this might make you want to quit your job and learn to fly on a board. We're here at Ho'okipa Beach Park on Maui, the global hotspot where windsurfers from everywhere on the planet show up to take on waves that seem way too powerful. If you think surfing is tricky, imagine adding 30-mile-per-hour winds with the giant waves. Yeah, it's that kind of place. And yet, windsurfers come here and somehow make it look effortless. They glide across the waves so easily, like they're just showing off. It's definitely impressive and slightly terrifying. We thought waking up at the crack of dawn to watch the sunrise on top of Haleakala was the best view on the island. Turns out, windsurfers at Ho'okipa Beach gave an equally impressive view. Either way, you can't lose. You won't believe what happens when Maui's strongest winds meet the world's best windsurfers. Ikomo mai, welcome to Maui. We landed safely, got our vehicles, and now ready to explore. We're here only for 2 days and 1 night, so we're going to make the most of it. Today, we'll just be driving around. Ideas have been discussed, but they're flexible. Tomorrow, however, we do have plans. We hope to see the sunrise at Haleakala in the morning and the windsurfing competition later in the day. So where did we go? Come along and find out. During our exploration on the first day on the island, we got lost driving around on the back roads that follow the curves of the mountain. Our GPS stopped working as it lost signal, so we rolled down the windows and just drove. The road led us to a fruit stand where we met a man cutting green mango slices with a pocket knife that we think he bought from the unmanned fruit stand. He smiled at us like he'd been waiting all morning for company and handed us slices of the mango. "Don't worry, just take your time," he said. We were confused and maybe even a little nervous. But he started to make sense. Somehow, that's exactly what Maui kept saying too. Here on this island, something shifts within you. Eventually, you start breathing a little deeper and you just naturally slow down, taking your time to just be. My dad actually grows that sour sap in his garden. It has a very odd texture and a subtle sour taste. We dropped some cash inside the cooler and took some of the fruits. Mornings come early in Hawaii, and not because of the rising sun. Before the light even touches the sand, the roosters are already loud and proud, singing at the top of their lungs. During the day, they strut their stuff through private properties, parking lots, cross highways, and somehow always manage to appear right when you're trying to eat outside in solitude. At one point, the state even offered a bounty for each one you exterminate. But the chickens have clearly won that fight, and now they're everywhere. When I lived on the island, it was always told to us that past hurricanes set the chickens free decades ago. They stayed and multiplied. Now they become part of the rhythm of island life. Some people find them annoying, others like me find them hilarious. I mean, just look. We stumbled upon a winery in the upcountry with a tropical garden. It was beautiful, and it was unlike any other wineries I've been to on the mainland US. I didn't even see a single grapevine. Actually, I'm not sure that grapes can grow in Hawaii. It's a unique but interesting kind of place. My friend was a bit disappointed because it reminded her of a farm. It did look more like a ranch than a winery. Maybe because it's in the upcountry that it feels like there should be cattle here. They do have a tasting room where we sampled some of their wines. Eventually, we took their pineapple infused one because we were in Hawaii after all. The only question is, was it really wine? Either way, we thoroughly enjoyed our stop here. The people were very welcoming and informative about their wines. We even meditated in the gardens as we enjoyed the view of the ocean in the distance. For dinner, we decided to just stay local and go to one of these mini food truck food court establishments. This one was conveniently located near where we were staying in Kahului, next to a Costco. Rather than going to a restaurant, you can more economically buy some meals here and take them to the beach to share and get some unbeatable views with your food. We did not go to the beach after this stop, however. Instead, we took our food back to our hotel room and ate it there, drank the wine from the winery, then called it an early night. Tomorrow, we have to wake up very early for the sunrise on a volcano. At the crack of dawn, the world is still asleep, but not us, at least not today. With our jackets on, we headed back to the upcountry, where it can get cold, and drove to the summit of Haleakala. I was the designated darkness driver this morning, and I'm fully okay with it as I'm experienced driving in harsh conditions. Today, it was total blackness, along with lots of hairpin turns, and most eerily, no side rails as we winded our way up the volcano. The air grew colder with every mile. Conversations faded. We started whispering to each other for no apparent reason. The road behind us is long and winding, fading into darkness, and ahead, more of the same. We finally made it to the top, along with many others who took the early morning road trip. For a while, there's nothing to do but wait. Strangers stood huddled together, face half hidden behind scarves, eyes lifted towards a horizon that hadn't yet appeared. You stand there, watching your breath disappear into the dim light, unsure of what's coming, but knowing it's close. The first hint of color appears, a soft blush at the edge of the horizon. Then slowly it spreads. The cloud turns into fire, the shadows lift, and the silence breaks open into light. In that moment, everything feels suspended. It's not loud or grand, it's something gentler. As the sun rises, you feel something rise with it, something worldless, like peace or gratitude, or maybe both. The world that was dark and quiet just moments ago begins to breathe again. Shadows soften, colors bloom, and the light spills over the edge of the horizon. Then, a few minutes later, you see a different landscape, something otherworldly even. The dark ridges turn bronze, the mist lifts, the crater below glows like another planet. The silence deepens, only broken by the wind moving through the crater. Light spills across the ridges, turning stone into gold and mist into fire. The sun has risen, and a new day has begun. Hey there! Quick interruption to say thanks a bunch for choosing to watch my video. You're awesome! I'm Sherry, and I've been wandering the world since 2010, turning my travel site, Colorful Footsteps, into a brand new YouTube channel. Here, it's all about superlative trips, eats, and stays. If you're enjoying this video or found it helpful, please leave a like or a comment, and maybe you'll even subscribe someday. See you again, okay? Now back to the video. We came to Maui primarily for the windsurfing competition, and we finally made it. There were already a lot of people on the beach when we arrived, but spread out in pockets so it didn't feel crowded. We found a spot in between some tents at the front, lacking the self-awareness at the time that the area belonged to the pros, but they were kind enough to let us stay without saying a word. We eventually moved to a higher vantage point. Ready to watch the windsurfers? Here goes! Unfortunately, these daredevil acrobats on water are not invincible, proof that some need a little help from sticky situations, and it reminds us this is not as easy as they make it look. We think, however, it was this beach dog that stole the whole show.